Welcome to the Real Retirees of New Jersey, powered by Liberty Financial Group and Artemis Wealth Advisors. Randy and Peggy Fisher want to help you retire once and retire right. Get more information at therealretireesofnewjersey.com. They never throw the first punch, but they're always a knockout.
And we appreciate you subscribing to the Real Retirees of New Jersey, all powered by Liberty Financial Group and Artemis Wealth Advisors. Get more at realretireesofnewjersey.com. My name is Mark Owens. Randy, Peggy Fisher, how y'all doing?
I'm doing
well.
great,
How about you?
Mark.
Congratulations on order.
Yeah.
Big anniversary.
Coming
Big
up.
anniversary.
Coming up.
Big
27. I beat her to it.
27.
That way she didn't have to do the math. I think she wrote it on her
Wonderful.
hand, actually, because she keeps getting it right, which is amazing.
27 wonderful years, and we've never had a fight, Mark.
Oh, my God.
Christmas every day.
Why do you lie to me? I like you both too much. I look to y'all and think I hope to have that long of a happy relationship. What is a like an anniversary outing? Like, do y'all have big plans for each other? Do you still, and me, I've been married for 13 years now, but when you reach that point too, do you still try to surprise each other? Do you go out to dinner, or is it like, you want to go to the Mexican joint and get a margarita and a taco, or how does it work?
No, so that's funny that you do bring that up, Mark, because honestly, we do very big things for our anniversary. We do celebrate our marriage every year, very big. But this year was kind of difficult because my son's prom is on Friday. So we
So we're
want to
going
be
to
there
Taco
for
Bell.
him. So we normally do go away, yes, but we weren't kind of allowed to do that this year only because I want to enjoy my son's prom too, take pictures and do all those fun things with him. So we'll see. I don't know. Randy said there's a gift coming to the door. Is that for me, Randy, or is that just something that's coming to the door today from FedEx?
No, it's a gift for me.
Oh, good for you. All right. Happy anniversary, baby.
It's a happy anniversary to me.
Yay.
So,
But we use the joint credit card, so
Yeah.
you can feel like
hey,
you bought
listen,
it.
whatever's mine is hers, and whatever's hers is hers. So I get nothing anyway. So
So
that's the way it works.
what I took away is, Peggy, get ready because anniversary night, Taco Bell, you can order any number you want.
Oh, I
You know
cannot
what?
wait.
You can supersize it too.
You can even get the value. You can get 2 value meals.
Whoa. That, my friends, is how you keep the spark alive.
That's how we can go
Relationship.
to Mickey D's and get a Happy Meal.
Randy.
Speaking of Mickey D's, they have a special Happy Meal right now. It's 40 chicken nuggets, one large fry, no drink. Guess how much it is?
So hold on, 40 chicken nuggets,
Yeah, 40.
one large fry,
Yes,
no drink.
no drink. Nothing else.
How do you do a meal without a drink?
I have no idea, but this is their special now.
All right,
Give me
40 nuggets.
Give me a price.
Oh God, with inflation,
Yeah.
everything is so expensive. I'm going to say 18 to 20. I'm going to say $22.
$26.99.
You don't even get a
That's
drink with
disgusting. First of all, it ain't even real chicken,
Yeah.
right? So, I mean, just 40 chicken nuggets and a large fry. Like, number one, how did that even become a meal? But number two is, you're paying almost $27 for chicken nuggets that are disgusting. It's amazing.
Do they
Those
charge
things used
the-
to be on a value meal. It used to be $1, right?
Yep. 100%.
There's no more
Would you
dollar
get?
meals.
Used to get what, 4 or 6 of them for $1? Talk about that inflation right there.
It's $20. That's like what? That's like 50 cents a nugget.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
true.
I mean, think if you used to get 6 of them for $1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now it's so 40, so it's about 7 of them. That's $7. That would have been $7 to get the equivalent of what 27 or 28 of them buy today. And that was only a couple of years ago.
Isn't real. Not to mention, you want Coca-Cola, that's going to cost you another $4 on top of that.
That's right.
Oh yeah. Hey, listen, let's not get political, but that's Bidenomics at its best right there, baby.
I mean, there it is.
There
Didn't
you
somebody
go.
say that all this inflation was transitory?
Yeah,
I don't think
transitory.
so.
Let me tell you what. I want to go back to 1.4% inflation, and you can give me any mean tweet you want.
Give me $2 gas and I am all in.
I'm all
You
over that.
Any reporter you want to. It ain't going to hurt my feelings.
None at all.
My goodness gracious. So what I hear is date night. I hope you're not expecting nuggets because it ain't coming this year for your anniversary. All right.
No.
No, that's too expensive.
and plus, I mean, it's too fancy for your likes anyway.
Yeah.
So, hey, listen,
Then you got to
wanna
get. Then you got to buy the sauce because that's
The
not. It
sauce,
doesn't even
too.
come for free now.
Hey, welcome out to Fat Guys Talking Fried Food here on the Real Retirees of New Jersey this weekend. Coming up next, we'll talk about Wendy's new Baconator.
Oh, no, I'm down for that. That's good.
Is 12 strips on a burger too much? We'll find out next week here on
There
That's
that.
out of my
you go.
league right there. That's way past my price level.
realretireesofnewjersey.com to meet the team, see all the services they have to offer. You can also reach out to the team via the contact form. Again, therealretireesofnewjersey.com. You know, we had a fascinating conversation a couple of weeks ago about the families you serve and the couples that you serve, but you made the comment that you also serve a lot of widows. And I didn't think about that, but it's so true because women are outliving men. So, you know, this week, let's talk about some of the strategies that you offer some of the widows in the community and the families you serve.
Yeah.
You like to say they outlive us, Mark. They actually kill us is what they do. Let's just get it the right way, please. So you're right. The event in the end is we do die, but go ahead.
So Mark, every morning when I feed Randy his pill or his little sip in his coffee.
Is this the day? Mama, I'm coming to see you. This could be the day.
That's why I drink out of a bottle. I break my own seal on the cap.
Make sure it's sealed, capped. I got you.
So, of course, losing a spouse can be one of the hardest things anyone experiences. And widows are frequently at a loss about what to do next, especially if the spouse who passed manages the money, right? That's the hardest takeaway on that. We do have a lot of clients, unfortunately, who have become widows, but we do, hope that as soon as they come in to our door, we go right into a process that we like to do for them. And like first thing, I'll start off, Randy, is, we tell them that we need to notify any financial institution of the spouse's passing, banks, credit cards, call your financial advisor, talk to your attorney, talk to your CPA, and let them know that the spouse has passed. That would be like the first initial thing to do,
It's similar to a lot of the different conversations and meetings in which we have. I mean, I did a little research on this over the weekend because I was actually interested to see what part of the population are actually widowed or married.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was amazed. Actually, there's 12 million American women that are widows currently right now. And it's the fastest growing segment of the U.S. population. Every year, there's going to be approximately more than 1 to 1.2 million new widows every year for the next 10 years. That's actually pretty extraordinary. And like you mentioned there, Mark, it has to do with, the mortality of it and everything else with, women living longer and men passing away, more quickly. But the interesting part about that, I would say the sad part about that is that segment of the population in which those women are outliving the men, there's a big generational divide, right? That's more like we call it old school. Right? It's the old school. The guy took care of most of the finances. The woman took care of most of the household, even the budget and expenses and things like that, and kept the glue together. And when a guy disappears, all hell breaks loose. Right. Yeah. It's hard.
And then the bills are left to the spouse. I mean, great example. We have a very dear client to us. We'll say her name is Susan for this aspect. Susan came in and, unfortunately her husband did pass away. The husband was a client of ours. They both were clients of ours, but he's the one who did all of the finances, So she had no idea about anything. She literally came to us, when she told us that he passed away, and she had a huge bag of which she dumped on our table, started crying and says, I have no idea about any of this. So we literally went bill by bill, letter by letter, insurance company through insurance company, and went for hours, and just went through everything for her because she had no idea, unfortunately, about any of the finances.
Even before that, too, though, just wrangling through not only the bills and the mail and even the process of just burying somebody and going through that whole process, it's pretty interesting. I actually do remember a couple quick stories about her. And again, we'll just name her, not her real name, just for sake.
Yeah, 100%.
But one day we're wrangling with life insurance policies and life insurance companies because we fill out forms and they're giving her a hard time that they didn't know that she was the beneficiary. On a couple of policies, she actually wasn't listed as the primary beneficiary. It was a sister of her husband, which was actually pretty interesting.
He failed to update the forms?
Yep. That's exactly right.
Correct.
And you think about that. They were married for almost 30 some odd years. So the beneficiary was never changed for a 30-year window on group life insurance from his previous employer, and he was already retired. So, I mean, it's pretty extraordinary about just updating stuff. And when we say these people are clients, they've recently become a client as a widow. A lot of our clients, we've already prepared them for some bad things that can potentially happen. So when we get referrals or references or, can you help this person? It's more or less just picking up the pieces. It's a lot of chaos, right? So let's just start with that. A couple days later, I get a phone call. This same woman is at a bank having a nervous breakdown because the government just actually pulled a Social Security check back from her checking account. And she had already written bills, which bills were bouncing because she didn't have the money in the account.
Why'd they
Now
pull
she's
it?
45 minutes from here, from our office.
Yeah.
I literally got in the car and I drove to the bank.
He went to the
So
bank.
it's a crazy story, but she was having a total meltdown.
Yeah.
We actually got in a car. She left hers there. We drove to the Social Security office, which was not too far from the bank. And we had to go through the entire process of proving that he actually died within the period of time in which he would have still gotten that Social Security check. So although she was happy and we proved to the Social Security Administration that he died within the right period of time, it took another 3 weeks for them to put the money back into the account. So then she had to go scramble and move money from other different bank accounts in order to match everything up. And then we had to beg, plead, and borrow to the bank not to charge her any of the late fees and the bounce check fees and all of that garbage, right? So you can just imagine how extraordinary it is. But it's one example of the nuances of having a spouse pass away, because her head on a normal clear day, she would have been able to tackle any of these things, right? Mm-hmm. But she's having a meltdown over this because she's overwhelmed. And a lot of people do get to that point where they either get so overwhelmed or they get so stymied that they either just continue to just put it off, or they go through an analysis paralysis. And then even then, they get to a position where they talk to a lawyer or they talk to an accountant, and then things become jargon filled. And then they become even more embarrassed and overwhelmed because then they don't know how to deal with everything. So we kind of translate a lot of that stuff and we kind of hold people's hands. And it's a process when somebody passes away to where their life kind of gets back on track, 9 months, 6 months, a year down the road, even sometimes. I mean, how many times has she walked through the door even months later with bags, shopping bags, full of mail?
Because actually when I just spoke with her a couple of days ago, and what she said to me, and I said this to Randy, which is, it was just astonishing. She said, I didn't get to certain things on taxes either yet. Christmas passed and then Easter just came. And I thought in my head, wow, that's how overwhelming she was and is by her husband passing away, leaving all of the finances in her hands, of which she had no knowledge of ever.
And to her accord, things do pass by pretty quickly where she is. She's dealing with her mom and other stuff on top of that. And her dad passed away. She had a whole bunch of stuff all at one time, which was pretty interesting. But I mean, to even just deal with one problem at a time, she had to deal with multiple problems at a time.
Go back to Randy's story is another thing we always tell everybody when they come into the office too, is always review and update your beneficiaries. As going back to what Randy said before, that is a number one thing, because huge, just as Randy gave the example before here, they thought she was on there and she wasn't. So that's such a big thing to review and go over. Even when the widow does come in, we again sit down, let's go and review. Let's say now, who would you like to have as your beneficiaries? And we review everything that they have with them as far as that goes to make sure that's all in proper order.
I want to go back to the second about the beneficiary. And you said that the husband wasn't even on the life insurance plan. The sister was still on there from 30 years ago. Worst case scenario, what would have happened had the sister passed away?
In certain states and certain places, it would actually go to the estate of whoever the beneficiary was, or it would actually go back to the estate of who the owner was. So it's a little bit of a mix and match there. But I can give you another nightmare story about an ex-wife being a beneficiary on it.
Right, grab a snack. Let's go.
Let's go.
It still goes on and on, but that's a very important fact. Changing beneficiaries and updating information on a normal basis.
Very important. Yes.
While you are alive, makes sense.
Make sure right?
Could you imagine trying to, like, if your husband dies and you're just trying to get the life insurance policy or maybe a pension, and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, his ex from 20 years ago.
We could tell you
it's going to go to her.
Yeah.
Does that happen a lot?
A lot, no, but it does happen, which is pretty interesting.
We like to tell everybody too, when you're reviewing and updating these things, make sure you know who is the beneficiary on there, on all your life insurance and on anything else that you'd have a beneficiary for.
So when that couple does come in and sit down with you, to avoid these situations, what are the first things you tell couples? What's some of the steps they need to take immediately to avoid these situations?
Well, so some of the things that we do as soon as they come in, we ask them, do you have a plan for replacing lost income? God forbid one or the other did pass, they say there's about a 20% reduction that's realistic. This is what they say. And we want to know, is there a plan for replacing that lost income? You know, do you have enough? If God forbid one of you passed away, would you have enough to live? And then another big thing is life insurance is a big part of the overall plan sometimes with people, especially, you know, if they don't have a lot or, you know, they have a mortgage and something still needs to be paid or kids in college that have to be paid. We also like to, you know, sit with them. Do you have life insurance and make that a part of your plan? And that can be based on the age, the bills that they have, inflation, you know, and we also want them to have something that's a lump sum payout that could be tax free to them as well. If God forbid there ever was a spouse that passed.
You brought up a good point there, Mark. Let me ask you a question. Did your wife know all your passwords? No. I'm not trying to be funny about this. I'm not even making a joke about it, right? I'm just asking you a simple question. Like, I'll give you an example. Let's say I want to log into a 401k account, right? Mm-hmm. If I die, do you think that my spouse is going to know what my login and my password are?
Mm-mm.
Right? How about logging into the Social Security benefits or logging into the IRS website or logging into wherever, right?
Yeah.
These days, I have trouble logging into all the different screens and passwords that I have that I know that I use every day.
All the
time. Yeah.
Right.
Every 10 minutes.
You know,
I've got 45 versions of the same password.
Yes.
I'm going to put the exclamation point here, and I'm going to put the one here. Now I'm going to flip them.
Yes.
You think about bank accounts, bank statement, all these items, right? So Peggy brought up a great point. What we eventually get through our planning process with our clients is, and it's steps in the process of really maturing the relationship. And over time, we finally get to the person who becomes a client instead of a customer. A customer is somebody that could potentially walk through the door. We do something transactionally. A client is someone we're going to really retain a relationship for a long haul. And it's literally, we're going to rely on them. They're going to rely on us. Their family is going to rely on us. And it actually blossoms into many other things. Part of that is more or less a filing system, for lack of better words, as to, hey, what's the inventory of what you have financially as well as personally? And if, God forbid, you didn't wake up tomorrow, you didn't come home, whoever survives, or your kids walk through the door, or your spouse walks through the door, we've got to open up this little treasure chest, and we have to go through and say, okay, this is what I have. Here's the mail that matches up to these things. Here's the statements that matches up to these things. I know I kind of have 99 or 95% of everything in order to basically move forward.
We also too, Mark, what you asked when they come in, what's the planning process? We also too discuss with clients, do you have a will? That is something that is so important we talk about, is to make sure you may have left, but you have something in place that states, you know, who gets what needs to go where. That's such an important process, is to have that will. And a lot of people, unfortunately, do not have a will. And it's something very simple that you could even do online, or something you could go to an attorney very simply and do. But just some small words to say, if God forbid one or the other passes, this is what it needs to take place.
When my dad passed away, he passed away of cancer, and he died 3 months to the day of finding out that he had cancer, stage 4. 3 months to the day he passed out.
Yeah.
Thank you. But we were very lucky. You know, I'm a glass half full kind of guy. I'm trying to see the positive and everything, that he had everything in order. He did. He had that file for his wife, for my stepmom, that everything was taken care of, because it's such a hard time in your life, because she's losing her husband. We're losing our dad. You know, the grandkids are losing their pops. But that was one less aspect of it all, trying to figure out, okay, where's his will?
Yes.
His legacy plan? Yep. He had his own small business. Where does this forms to? So it really is so important to have these things put together. And I learned the hard way too. Yeah, I got my will done immediately. Now, right. Does Gretchen know all my passwords? No, but she could probably figure them out. It's just password 1, 2, 3, 4. So
we're all going in.
Not too. What are you going to do with my 401k?
Nice. I love that.
What are you going to do with that?
I'm going to buy some chicken nuggets.
You can't afford those now.
Good pullback on that one. But, that's really good information. I mean, look, the reality is, we laugh, but the reality is, fellas, there's a real good chance that the most important people, the women in our lives, are going to outlive us. So it is just important to have those documents, that information put together with the help from the team at Liberty Financial Group and Artemis Wealth Advisors. Thank you for the education and the information, and we thank you for listening. We invite you to get more at therealretireesofnewjersey.com. For the entire team at Liberty Financial Group and Artemis Wealth Advisors, this has been the Real Retirees of New Jersey with Randy and Peggy Fisher.
We are an independent financial services firm helping individuals create retirement strategies using a variety of financial and insurance products to custom suit their needs and objectives. Investment advisor services offered through Artemis Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Artemis Wealth Advisors is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Please consult with your attorney, accountant, and or tax advisor for advice concerning your particular circumstances. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Randolph A. Fisher, insurance license number 9616074, and Liberty Financial Group, LLC, and Peggy Fisher, national license number 189-42003 and 570-5833.